Dr. Naik, today we live in a global world where often there are countries where both Muslims and non-Muslims live together, like in India. And in Islam, if I'm not wrong, isn't it said that no business should be done with non-Muslims, and if you're living with non-Muslims, they should be taxed?
Never, never, ever you show me any statement in the Quran which says you should not do business with non-Muslims. Never has it been said. This is a misconception of media. Regarding non-Muslim being taxed, not in a secular country. If it's an Islamic country, and if non-Muslims are living, there is something like jizya tax. Now, what is that jizya tax? I'll explain to you. In an Islamic country, if some people are non-Muslims, no one can force them to accept Islam, point number one. It is their freedom to choose their religion. But once they become a citizen of that country, if he's a non-Muslim, they pay a small amount of tax for the security. Because in Islam, if someone attacks that country, irrespective whether the citizen, if he's a Muslim, irrespective whether the doctor, engineer, teacher, at war he has to go, if the head of the state says. But for the non-Muslim, they need not fight, they'll be protected by the Muslims. So if you ask me in India, and there are many countries, for example, where you have to go to fight. Not in India, India is not compulsory because the population is very big. In some country where the population is small, you have to be trained, irrespective of the doctor or engineer. So in Islam, what happens, the non-Muslims pay a tax for the security. I am asking you a question. Would you prefer going for war when required, or would you prefer paying a few hundred rupees? And the tax amount is not big. If you calculate now, it will just be a few hundred rupees. So would you prefer paying 400 rupees and being secured that even war takes place, I need not fight, I'll be protected by the other citizens? Or would you prefer not paying the tax and going for war? So what happens? People, they just take out of context and they blame Islam. So in Islam, if a non-Muslim is a citizen of the country, that non-Muslim citizen need not follow Islam, but they have to say, fine, we are paying you to keep us secured. And that's a very small amount. It's not a big amount. It is much less than income tax. Income tax is very high. So just as a token amount saying that we agree that you are a protectors, and if a war takes place, they need not go to war at all. They'll be protected. So this is called as jizya tax. And I'm asking a simple question, there are many non-Muslim working in Gulf countries, where do they pay income tax? If you go to work in America, how much you have to pay? Income tax, 30%, 20%, 40%. In the Gulf countries, you don't pay income tax also. Most of the Gulf countries, there are no income tax. And they aren't paying jizya tax because they are citizens of the country. They aren't paying jizya tax, they aren't paying income tax also. So why aren't we seeing the good things about Islam? So what the media does, unfortunately, they pick up something, they quote out of context, like how you said that not doing business with non-Muslims. I do business with non-Muslims. But the business should not be, it should not be dishonesty. It should not be involving drugs. So the guidelines laid down that you cannot even do a Muslim. You cannot do even dishonest business with a Muslim also. As far as business is concerned, you can do any business as long as it is permitted. It is not a business which is prohibited. You can't do business of dishonesty, of cheating, of immodesty, of prostitution. You can't do this, whether Muslim or non-Muslim.